Welcome back. This is Civil Discourse Now. I'm Mark Small. I'm an attorney in Indianapolis. My co-host is Paul Ogden. We're coming to you from Big Hat Books. We're in Broad Ripple, Indiana. That's a section of Indianapolis on the north side. Big Hat Books is at 6510 Cornell. It's opposite Monon Trail, which is an old rail line that they turned into like a jogging trail and stuff years ago. They have space here to rent for special occasions. It's a neat place. It's a really good bookstore. Paul was following a line of questioning with our guest here today, Bill Levin, who's running for City-County Council at large here in Indianapolis.
Before I get back into that, Bill, how would someone contact you if they wanted to contact you?
Good point.
You can contact me at BILLJLEVIN@yahoo.com. Or you can find me on Facebook. Look for the picture like this.
No, but it's a Panatella. It's not a Churchill. It's a thinner cigar.
He's going to be that fucking whiny.
So it's so for our...
Sorry, give me a cigar that'll work better.
I know that my cigars.
So BILJLEVIN at
BILL, two L's.
Two L's. That's
JLEVIN at yahoo.com.
Okay.
What's the J stand for? Never mind, go
The getting back to the issue of animal control, the former director, you and I talked off air about Doug Ray.
Doug Ray was good peeps.
We both think very highly of him. Would you support a spay? I think you've already said it. Spay. How do you say it? Spay neuter release.
Spay.
And how does that work? Tell the audience how it works.
Spay neuter. We do this all the time. There will be feral colonies of cats, let's say.
And feral means what?
They're living wild in the streets, no owner. The colony will get registered. They will be trapped in Save-A-Heart cages. They will get spayed or neutered. Their ear will get tipped, and they will be released back into that neighborhood. This way, the animal control knows that they've been spayed or neutered by the tip, and they do not reproduce anymore, and they're put back in their natural environment. This is good. We try to get them when they're kittens and make them, have kids play with them, so they're not, and we try to get them into homes. We foster a lot of animals. We try to get animals out of IACC. If anybody has room in your house and you have a fenced yard, please, we need foster parents to get animals out of IACC as soon as possible. They kill 22 a day. There's a 22 animal death rate a day in Indianapolis. We need to get those numbers down, way down.
Is that just at the animal shelter, or does that include the Humane Society as well? And how do they interrelate now? I think that
one's a not-for-profit, one's run by the city.
Okay. Humane Society is not for profit.
Yeah, the Humane Society is a little hoity-toity and a little, political, and it's not a political part. And the IACC is stuck with the hard job of being underfinanced, understaffed, overpopulated. We need to get animals out of there as soon as we possibly can. It's just what has to be done. We need everybody in Indianapolis to help.
Okay. What other issues would you like to address as council?
Well, I'd be awful fond of calling out either the Democrats or Republicans on stupid moves like parking meters or...
Well, let's talk about that. So you're not in favor of the parking meter privatization?
Oh, hell no.
Okay.
No, that's the stupidest deal we've ever signed. I want to sign a percentage deal with somebody I can't audit, and if I do, it's a $20 million buyout after 10 years? Who wrote this deal?
Okay, so you have strong opinions about this issue.
Well,
all
right, if you really want to know my heart.
Surely you favor the Pacer deal. And I'm being
Look,
sarcastic.
I have...
I didn't know your name was Shirley.
I have a grandmother Shirley. I did. I have an office hockey team, and I like the fact that the Pacers get $10 million, but I want my office hockey team to get $5 million if they're giving out for sporting things. Seriously, we've got the best office hockey team in the world. It's a bunch of Heron people. We'll take on any office. 5 office chairs per side. Meet you in any hallway in any office building. We'll kick your ass.
Okay. So you're okay with the subsidy as long as you get a share, and I would like a few
yeah. I
million
mean, if
too.
they're
By the
giving
way, I
out
think
shares
Mark
for sporting, I suggest everybody in Indianapolis start a sporting league and go
There
to the
you
city
go.
with their hand out. I mean, if we're going to give it out, we need to give it out equally among everybody,
Okay.
or not at all.
Well, I was going to say we could start competitions for schools and start giving the money to the schools and see if they can come up with any kind of ideas and competitions with like mathematics, English, and history.
See, Mark is of the opinion that schools, we're just not putting enough money in. And I think if you look at the history, we're putting a ton of money into schools.
Well,
That's where Mark is wrong and I am correct.
well, no, I have a question on both of you about schools. We got this charter school thing going, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say you send a kid to charter school, right?
Mhm.
Now,
Well, I can't.
Shut up.
He doesn't.
All right, well, send your sock puppet to charter school, okay? It goes to charter school, you get a $4,500 credit. IPS gets $3,500 because they lose $8,000 when you leave. That $3,500 goes back into the general fund, and then it's dispersed around the state instead of back into the IPS.
I think you're talking about vouchers, aren't you?
Yeah.
Right.
Which is
but
not charter schools. Charter schools are public schools.
Right, but when you decide you're going to go to a charter,
right.
all right, the voucher system is you get $4,500, right?
Whatever the voucher is. I'm not
It's a
sure.
$4,500 voucher for the house, but they remove $8,000 from IPS, and the $3,500 difference goes back into the general fund and distributed throughout the state.
And since a child of mine would be a reprobate, after 10 days, the child is expelled from St. Pius of the faith and thrown back into IPS. They keep the money.
Yeah, it's a screwy system.
Right. Well, they have they have a count day, and I believe it's in September, where they do a count, and you get money according to how many kids you have admitted at that particular time. One of the problems, I think, is they need to have more of the counts because people leave IPS and go to other schools and vice versa. And so I think they need to have multiple. So
The United States advanced as a country in large part because we had free public education where kids could go and learn to read, write, work mathematics, and we should have a public educational system to provide education all the way through college, all the way through medical school if a kid's talented enough and smart enough to be and has no ethics and so wants to go into medical school.
Or law.
Or law. The ethics part they'd have. But if kids are able to do that, if they're talented and knowledgeable and gifted enough and they don't have the money, they shouldn't have to worry about student loans. We should as a society provide that.
My God, you're a commie.
he is.
You really are a
I
commie, aren't
think
you?
technically it's a socialist anarchist.
We could do a whole different program on that.
So, well, what other issues are important to you?
Safe streets, get more cops out there, officers and stuff.
One of the things that I appreciate about you is right now we have people on the council who are afraid to ask questions, tough questions. And I could see you on the council just start asking, why are we giving Pacers $33 million? Nobody else would ask that question. Everyone else is,
I go down there and I
great
have great
presentation.
laughs. I mean, because it's a hell of a theater to work.
Mhm.
I mean, I see these guys working it, and you know, it's some of them are it's quite rightfully so, and other ones are just fucking stampers.
Yeah.
Hi, oh, what'd you say? You want me to say this?
Right.
You want me to say this? You want me to say this?
So you don't like the Pacers?
I have nothing against the Pacers. You know, I got that. You know, if they're going to get a handout, get it somewhere else. The city doesn't need to be, you know, spending up for their, what is that? Their advertising budget for the year, $10 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The if you go into Conseco Fieldhouse, they have what's called ribbon advertising around, and we paid for that. They get all the money for that.
I think
Pacers do.
whoever did that on behalf of the Pacers, they're pretty savvy.
They have something going for them, I guess.
Look, I went out to go see the Who out at Deer Creek or whatever it's called now, and it was brought to you by Clarion Health, and there was 2 giant Clarion Health things on each side of the Who stage. Sponsorship at events is the biggest horror industry there is. It's sad. If you go out to these events, you cannot turn your head without seeing sponsorship of some form or another. Frankly, I enjoy the cash flow of it, but the reality of oversaturation of crap in front of my face, give me a break. I'm there to see the show. I don't want your ads in front of my face.
Well, okay.
I'm here to see the sporting event. I don't want your ads in front of my face.
And look, I'm a baseball fan. I'm a fan of the Chicago Cubs, and Wrigley Field has no ads in it that I haven't really seen any ads up in there. I mean, they have the Torco ad in right field, but
Anyway.
One of the big issues, I would say probably the number one issue, which I did not expect in the mayor's campaign, is should the mayor be involved in IPS? Should we get the mayor involved in IPS more? So that right now, basically, is what the mayor does is authorize charter schools.
The whole school issue with mayors needs to be thrown out the window. There's not a person that doesn't agree the schools are broken. It's not supposed to be an issue during. Let's talk about things that the mayor actually has direct involvement with. The mayor does not have direct involvement with schools. She is throwing up a huge fucking red herring, and it's despicable. It's sad. It's put that down and let's talk about issues that actually are issues. Everybody agrees the schools are broken. It's not an issue. You know, schools are broken. Hey.
The question is, how do you fix it? Should the mayor be involved?
The mayor should have some input, but it's really the Board of Education. Who's in charge of this? We need to look at the Board of Education, because that's their department, and say, fix it. If you can't fix it, we will find somebody here who can fill that job and fix this problem.
Well, in Chicago, Richie Daley.
Damn Democrats always go back to Chicago. What do you got going up there?
I live there.
Yeah, I know, but you know, I keep hearing these voting things too, and about it's okay. Chicago Democrats, keep going. I want to hear.
No. Daley made the point that that he wanted, Richie Daley, not the old man, said, okay, we need to fix the schools, put me in charge, but if somebody's going to do it, you got to have one person do the fix, because if they're going to have get the blame for it, they should have the authority to do the fix.
Sure.
So, and that's what Chicago is about, the fix. And so, he did that. This week, the scores came out. The Chicago public schools are doing the most poorly they've done in 20 years. It's been a steady downhill thing where they just are crapped out. And so, but I think that the point that somebody should be held responsible and also have authority is a good principle. That's what government's about.
Well, that's what the Board of Education's about. I mean, the mayor is in charge of running the city.
We're down to the end of the...
Hibbity. Bye-bye.
Well, thank you.